going on, everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on whatever time you're seeing this. I hope everyone's doing amazing. I hope everyone's feeling amazing. I hope everyone's feeling blessed. Today, I wanted to talk, kind of intertwines with the video I dropped last about starting a new year, a new way, doing a new thing in the new year, setting yourself up for a new life, new experiences. I wanted to kind of build on that. This video, I wanted to speak on setting a goal. I spoke about setting goals in my videos before. I've talked about how you should have a goal. If you don't know what your goal is, you don't know what your purpose is, then you must go out and find it. You must go out and search and seek it, either through trying different jobs, either through obtaining new skills, either through speaking to different people, getting and entering into different environments. But the direction I wanted to go with this video is giving yourself light at the end of the tunnel. Now, it is a new year, and I'm sure that you guys have heard the phrase, new year, new me, new year, new life, new year, new results, new year, new opportunities, right? I'm sure you've also heard the phrases, it's a new year, same things. New year, same New year, same problems. New year, same stresses. New year, but nothing's changed. I'm sure you heard those phrases. Now those phrases come from two different types of people. You got one phrase where a person may be optimistic, hopeful for what the new year may have in store for them, and that is, that's going to give them that motivating factor to keep going, that hopeful and look on the bright side type of mindset to keep them pushing, to keep them moving forward. Now with the more pessimistic, I'd say, or for lack of a better phrase, the more pessimistic phrase or view on life, those are the ones that do use the phrase, oh, it's a new year, but the same thing. New year, same problems. New year, same this, right? Now, if you're entering into this year and you're experiencing a lot of the same problems, same stresses, same experiences that you did not like about last year, how can one go about changing it? How can one go about shifting the trajectory of their year, the trajectory of their life at the end of this year? I'd say first and foremost, put your spiritual life first. I'd say first and foremost, give your spiritual life your all. Allow your spiritual life to overflow into the other aspects of your life. Allow your spiritual life to direct you and guide you into what your goals should be, into what your purpose should be, into what you feel your purpose is. Allow your spiritual life and God to show you, to lead the way, to light your path, to be the light at your feet along your journey as you walk this straight and narrow. Now, many of us have had, or depending on how old you are, and even if you are young, many of us have gone through worst points of our lives, have hit rock bottom. Maybe in those instances, you did turn to God. You did give your spiritual life your all, because that was all that was left. There was nothing else you could do. You tried everything else on your own, and nothing was sticking. Nothing was improving or getting any better at all. Maybe in that instance you realize that, hey, I was at rock bottom and I submitted, I yielded to God, and things are going a little bit more smoothly for me. Things are starting to look up. This weight that's on my shoulders, this weight that's on my chest isn't so heavy, isn't as heavy as it was before. And as a result, you made it through. You made it through the storm. You made it out that hole. You made it out that drought. You made it through that hard time, through that hard experience. Now, let's try and apply that now. whether your life is going good or whether it's going bad right now. Because again, this is the beginning of the new year. We're only 2 weeks in. Try starting off the year with a strong relationship with God, with a strong spiritual life. Try starting and building the foundation around how you would like this year to go for you, around your spiritual life, around your relationship with God. And doing so by going all in for God. Now, I say going all in, and what I mean by going all in is I mean going all in, not holding back in any way, shape, or form. I mean, if you have a problem, go to God. If you are excited about something, go to God. If you're thankful for something, go to God. If you're joyful for something, go to God. If life is going good for you right now, nothing is bothering you, nothing is stressing you out, nothing is burdening you, nothing is weighing you down, go to God. Thank Him. As a result, you'll receive blessing. You will receive God's blessing, God's love. And God does love us all the time. Even when we do fall short, even when we do make mistakes, He loves us because He knows that it's in our nature. But it's up to us to approach Him with the mistakes, with the shortcomings, with the good times, with the bad times, in the good times, and during the bad times. It's up to us to do that. So when I say go all in, I mean go all in, and not all in by your standards. I don't mean go all in. I don't mean go all in a way that you feel you went all in, but go all in the way that you think God would want you to go all in. Go all in the way that Jesus would want you to go all in. Go all in the way that Jesus went all in. Jesus walked, lived, and breathed the will of God. Jesus walked, lived, and breathed the things that God taught us before the return of the Messiah in the Bible. Jesus walked, lived, and breathed God. God's will, God's love, God's peace. He was a walking, living, and breathing example. And so what I mean by going all in is I mean to embody that. You're obviously not going to do it perfectly because, again, we're not perfect and Jesus was a perfect man. But embody that by going all in and striving to imitate that in all aspects of your life. Striving to strengthen your relationship with God in all aspects of your life, in your financial life. And I'm not saying to use God for your finances, but God does instruct us in how to obtain abundance in everything. Because God did create us to thrive, to live in abundance. God gave us the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Eden. He gave us the Garden of Eden, and it had everything we ever needed. There was an abundance of everything we ever needed. Food, water, animals, trees, plants, gold. There was an abundance of these things. Even before many of these things mattered. Even before many of these things mattered in the way that we think they matter now. And even in the way that they do matter now. God gave us abundance. He will do the same if you yield to Him and imitate Him. Imitate the way that He walked this earth. Imitate the way that He lived His life. Imitate the way that Jesus loved. Imitate Jesus. That's what I mean by going all in. And as a result, your year will turn out a whole lot smoother. Your perspective on life will turn out a whole lot easier, a whole lot better. The hard times that you go through in this year won't be as bad as they were. Won't be as bad, as stressful, as burdening as they have been, as they were, and as they could be. You know, I watched this video, I believe can't really recall what the title of the video, who it was by, but I'll see if I can find it. If I do find it, I will link it. But I watched this video, and it was speaking about how, man, I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm trying to think of the title, the name of who posted the video, whose video it was, but I'm drawing a blank right now. But essentially, the video speaks about, it was a video speaking about this person's experience and how they experienced hell, as far as like being, like essentially an out-of-body experience, right? So he went to hell and everything, and he put into perspective, he drew this illustration about how, imagine you did everything that you thought you could to please God. Imagine you still ended up going to hell, right? And this is worst case scenario, y'all, all right? I don't want to go too dark. Stay with me, just stay with me. But imagine you ended up going to hell still, right? Now, imagine that the devil, the enemies, the adversaries' way of torturing you, because hey, they are torturers. That's what they do. The enemy and his demons, the enemy and his followers, they're torturers. They torture by confusion, through pain, through misunderstanding. They torture through all kinds of things. Through stress, through hard times, they torture. So let's say that his way of torturing you is by showing you the ways that God has, by showing you how bad, like all of your life, all of the worst moments that you went through in your life, all of the absolute terrible experiences that you didn't think you would make it through. Imagine he shows you these experiences. Imagine he shows you these times that you went through, right? And that you made it through. Again, these times that you didn't think that you would make it through. These times that you labeled as the worst moment of your life, right? Let's say he showed you those moments. And then, after he showed you these moments, had you relive these moments, let's say that he showed you how much worse it would have been if God didn't have a hand in it. Imagine the enemy shows you how much worse your life would have been if God didn't nudge you just a little bit into the right direction. Because God isn't going to let you lead, or God isn't going to let you stray too far from him. Unless you choose to do so, unless you willingly make that decision to go against God. God isn't going to let you stray away from him. Now, you may not know how to obtain a relationship with him. You may not have been taught how to maintain a relationship with him. That's fine. God understands that, but God is going to try to reach out to you and call to you. So imagine that all of the experiences that you went through that were the worst possible moments of your life, imagine that they were bad, yes, but they weren't as bad as they could have been because God had a hand in it. That would change your perspective on things. And that would be even more torturing because now you're having to realize, okay, I lived my life away from God and mad at God maybe. Maybe I was running from God, ashamed to approach God, ashamed to come before God. And it led me to living a life under the sun, living a life of vanity and of vexation of the spirit. Let's say you realize that, and now you're having to realize that, dang, God's mercy, the mercy that God showed me, the love that God showed me, even whenever I was ignorant to the fact that he was calling me home. Imagine living that for eternity. Now, I only draw that, and again, y'all gotta stay with me, but I only draw that illustration, or I only mentioned this because yes, your hard times are bad, but once you realize that they are bad right now, but they're not as bad as they could be. They're not the absolute worst that they could be, because a whole lot worse could happen. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, it could be worse, and that's true. Building a strong spiritual life, building a strong spiritual pillar, putting your spiritual life first to start this new year, will give you a new perspective and allow whatever hard time you do go through to be that much, it'll be that much more, you'll be able to do it. It'll be that much more bearable. It'll be that much more understandable, because you'll understand that, yes, again, this is bad right now, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is an end goal. There is an end result. There is an end outcome to this storm, to this weather, to this drought, to this pain that I'm going through. So that's what I mean whenever I say start this year by setting a goal. But set your goal around your spiritual life and allow your spiritual life to direct you, to guide you. Use your spiritual life like a GPS. Use your spiritual life like a guide, like a tour guide. And to the ones that may still be on the fence, hey, just give it a try. Like, quite literally, what's the worst that can happen from you giving your spiritual life a try, giving God a try? Prove to yourself. Go out and actively prove to yourself that a strong spiritual life is pointless. See what you find. Go out and actively prove to yourself that a strong spiritual life is good for you and beneficial for you. Because I don't want y'all to just take my word for it. I want y'all to take what it is that I say in these videos and go and prove it to yourself. Go and prove yourself right. Go and prove yourself wrong. In that same aspect, applying your spiritual life first, or keeping your spiritual life first, applying all the principles that God instructed us to do through His Word, and doing so with no hesitation, with a full heart for God. Prove to yourself that will yield positive results. Prove to yourself that it doesn't yield positive results. Because you will find out something. There will be some kind of answer that you will come to a conclusion on. And you may be surprised. You very well may be surprised. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing year. I hope you guys have a blessed year. I hope this year is full of many blessings, and I hope God grants you peace and grants you guidance through whatever obstacle that you will face. Not that you may face, but that you will face this year. I pray that He grants all of you the peace of mind, grants all of you the calmness of heart, guides all of you, grants all of you the wisdom and knowledge to know what to do and where to do it, to know when to do it and how to do it. I hope you guys just stay blessed, keep God in your life, and if God isn't in your life, then seek Him. If you don't think it's worth it, then seek the truth. Prove to yourself that it isn't worth it. Using the Bible, using God's resources, using God. Talk to Him, approach to Him in prayer. Whether it's a 1 minute prayer, 2 minute, 3 minute prayer, speak to Him. Whatever's weighing you down on your chest, whatever you're excited about, whatever you're happy about. Just give it a try. Give it a test run. But test run, or give it a test run with all you've got. So again, I hope everyone has a blessed day, blessed year. Hope you guys continue moving forward, continue striving for greatness in your own aspect, in the aspect of your life, in your own way. Hope you guys keep God first. Y'all go out and stay in the world, leave y'all's mark. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.